Hey everyone, welcome back to Rain and Pours. I'm Mitch, and before we start today's video, I wanted to mention that PourCon is happening live in Las Vegas, August 6th to 9th at the Green Valley Ranch Hotel and Resort. If you're interested in registering for PourCon and coming along and having a whole heap of fun with us, you can do that at pourcon.com. Also, head to my website, rainandpours.com.au, to see all of my work, my coasters, the doodling templates that I've created, along with SVG files for your Cricut or Silhouette for embellishing your artworks. Now, let's get on with the video. Hello everybody, welcome back to Rain and Pours. I'm Mitch, and today I am working on a piece for the Pouring with the Fellas collab. So this collab is gentlemen only, and we are a group of guys from all around the world just having a bit of fun, throwing some paint down and drawing attention to each other's channels. So we don't have a theme for this one, so I'm going to implement a design that I've wanted to do for a little while, and this is going to be a practice piece for a table that I'm about to do. So let's run through some colors with you all. Now I wanted to go for a blue and purple theme, but keep it very, very dark. So the colors I have mixed up are This Little Piggy Sapphire. I have Stuck Up Pigs Hoity Toity. So this is a color shifting pigment that goes from blue, purple and turquoise. I have This Little Piggy Violet Rain, which is super deep, rich violet. I have This Little Piggy Constellation. I have I believe this is Golden Permanent Violet Dark, and I have my cell activator here, one of them, which is Matisse Metallic Gold, mixed with Australian Floetrol, and I think I've put a little bit of This Little Piggy Zeus in there as well. And I also have some Pebeo Iridescent Blue Black and Black Cell Activator mixed up on the side as well. So I'll quickly run through the idea for this design. I'm going to do a swipe with my palette knife, and I'm going to do a loaded palette knife swipe, which means I'll be putting the colors onto my palette knife and then swiping them across the surface. Now Lisa Marvin is teaching this technique at PourCon, which is in August. That's August 6th till the 9th at the Green Valley Ranch Resort and Hotel in Las Vegas. You can get your tickets for that at pourcon.com. Super excited to be going over there for that. It's going to be a phenomenal event. There's 22 different teachers, there's 3 keynote speakers. It's just going to be a not to miss opportunity if you're into fluid art. So loading up the palette knife, cell activators will go first, and I want the gold on the bottom. Then layer up all the colors, swipe it out. And with this idea, I want to do a triple swipe. And I actually think I'm going to level up my swiper, and I'm going to go for my big petal because then I can make a bigger swipe shape. I do want to keep some negative space, and the final piece that I'll be doing this on is a circular triangle. So enough talking, let's get started, and I'm going to start by putting down some pillow paint. Now this is leftover pillow paint from a trivet that I just poured. So I'm going to pour this around the outside, and then I'm going to pour my actual pillow paint in the middle. And reason I'm doing that, one is to use up this leftover paint, and two, so I don't get too many bubbles. So here is my regular pillow paint. This pillow paint is the British Paints Exterior Low Sheen in black. It's already tinted black, which is perfect for this. And I'm doing the Sheleeart Bloom technique today. So if you want to learn how to do the Sheleeart Bloom technique, head to sheleeart.com.au. You can sign up there and use my code Sheleeart15mgrimer for 15% off the course. And if you're interested in buying any of these little piggy pigments, you can get those at fluid-art.co. Now I'm going to just use my hand to run around the edge here and smooth this out. Now with my boards, anything that I pour on that is wooden, I always prime first with varnish, and for this one I've used my Jo Sonja gloss varnish. Yes, you can use it in your pouring medium, and yes, you can use it as a varnish. So I've done 3 coats of that, and that's going to prevent the wood from warping. Now because it's a swipe, I like to give this a bit of a spin first, a bit of a tilt, just to even out all of this paint, because generally with a swipe you don't want too much expansion, otherwise your cells can warp. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to bang my spinner to pop some bubbles, and I'm going to try and pop a couple of these surface bubbles just with my torch. Very, very light, very low flame. Now let's start layering up our palette knife. I'm going to do this off camera, but I will tell you the order that I'm doing this in. So I'm doing the Matisse Metallic Gold Cell Activator first. Then I'm doing my Amsterdam Cell Activator, and that's Amsterdam Lamp Black. And I'm just drizzling that on. I'll show you in a sec. And by doing the metallic first, I'm going to have a nice black cell activator with really defined cells, and then the gold is going to be inside of that lacing. Okay, so do it that way. Now the color I want on the top has to go first, and the color I want on top is going to be This Little Piggy Hoity Toity, or Stuck Up Pigs Hoity Toity I should say, because that is the color shifting chameleon. That's the color I want to show the most. Then we're going to work in backwards order. So I think I want a little bit of Pebeo Iridescent Blue Black. I want the Golden Permanent Violet Dark. Then I want Constellation. Violet Rain, and then Sapphire last. Now you will see it. It should show up. And if we don't, we'll try it on the second swipe. We'll move that up a layer. Now these pigments work perfectly in swipes, and especially on a black background. So this is what my layered palette knife looks like. And I'm going to find roughly the center, and I'm just going to swipe and spin my spinner at the same time so I get a nice curve on that. Okay, and I hope we're going to get some really nice cells developing. Now I do want to work really quickly and get the second lot going so that all of my cells stay roughly the same size. So again, same layering. You can see those gorgeous cells forming there. So I've got my gold, I've got my black, I've got the hoity toity. Pebeo. Iridescent Blue Black. The Golden Permanent Violet Dark. Then Constellation. Violet Rain. And Sapphire. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Okay, let's start here and swipe out. It's looking good so far. And then last one. Now when I do this on my table, I actually have 3 corners that I have to swipe this out to. So that's going to be a lot easier than trying to figure out where I'm swiping on here. Okay, so things are looking a little bit uneven, but that's fine. That's why I wanted to do this test, just to see how the colors would work and to see the best way to do this. I think the colors are definitely working well. Look very, very pretty. Now you won't see the full color shift of Hoity Toity until this is dry, and you may not see the full sparkle of everything until this is dry either. That's just how the way these pigments work, especially with paint. And we're going to spin this out. I just want to make sure that the center is centered. I don't think it is. Should do. Alright, little spins first, and I am going to scrape up any paint that flies off with my spatula. Just giving it a little bit of a bigger spin, encouraging that paint to flow. Stop this for a sec. Now it looks like this area over here isn't flowing very well, so I'm going to gently move my round here off center. I'm going to do that by coming over to this edge, picking it up, just wedging my spatula underneath, and I'm going to walk that to that corner and give this a gentle spin. I'm going to scrape up all this excess paint here. Okay, give it a gentle spin, and that's going to make all of the paint move towards that direction. Give it a bit of a faster spin, get that paint flowing. Problem with our Australian house paints is they dry very quickly, so you've only got a limited window of opportunity to spin and work with these before they start to skin over. And it's looking like mine is already drying. But we got there in the end. So one more spin just to get that paint flowing over the edge. Now the good thing about doing this is you can also move the center of your paint away from the middle, so your center is going to be less likely to crack as well. Right, let's give this a scrape. And I'm just being careful not to ruin the design that is up the sides, because it looks really, really awesome. Now your paint will continue to drip for a little while afterwards, so you just have to remember that your design on the sides isn't going to stay the same. And now I can get my spatula back under here, bring this back to the middle, and then we're going to spin to make sure that we've got enough paint off so that this doesn't crack as it dries. And because I already pre-spun my pillow at the start, there shouldn't be all that much paint to move. And I think this is pretty much good. Now I am just going to grab my blowtorch. Normally you wouldn't torch a bloom because there's house paint here. The house paints can scorch and the varnish can scorch as well. But I'm using a very, very low flame, not holding it in the same place for any more than a fraction of a second. And just popping some of those bubbles. Okay, let's have a look at the close-up. Alright everyone, here is the wet result, nice and close. And just look at how deep and vibrant those This Little Piggies are, shimmering and shining. Now the turquoise colour that you can see is all from Hoity Toity. I did not use any turquoise in this piece. It's all that stuck up pig, giving that beautiful colour shift. Now this dried a little bit warped because I had still too much paint left on the surface, which is perfectly fine because I'll be turning this into a geode style trivet, and I can't wait to put some resin on this and see how it's going to look. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my contribution to the Pouring with the Fellas collab. Stick around for Sai and Vanna. They'll be finishing things up at Frosty Eye Candy. I'll put a link in the description below, and check out all of the other guys in this collab as well. If you like what I'm doing here, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.